We are talking budget and policies right here on Iconic Chat. Let's talk business with Mr. Daniel Steinman. Week 55 it is. In case you've missed out on previous talks, you can of course go to economist.com.na. I am your host, Elsabi Tibinyani, and Mr. Daniel Steinman. Before we went on a break, we did ask a question, and that question is in relation to priorities.
Yes, Elsabi, that is the whole thing about the budget, and that is where this debate after the 23rd of February, there follows this almost 7-8 week debate amongst the various political representatives in the National Assembly, but also amongst interest groups that are dependent on how the budget is allocated. And that all comes back to priorities. Now you have to keep in mind that when we started with the medium-term expenditure framework, that is the so-called 3-year rolling budget in 2003, one of the first things that the IMF team pressed upon us is that we need to have targets, and those targets must be tangible, real-life targets. So now when we talk about priorities, we need to decide. Remember, in the beginning we had very little targets. The budget was an accounting exercise. So much money, and we need to do this and this and this, and boom, everybody gets a slice. But we didn't implement or exploit the policy power that is contained in the budget. And if you talking roughly about, let's say it's possible that the total expenditure will exceed 77 billion this year. That's 77,000 million. What I always say is, why don't they give every Namibian just $1 million? They say, shut up, go home, plant your mahangu, tend your goats, don't worry about anything. It's a massive amount.
It's a dream.
So, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Never.
So we look at priorities, and this is where the debate comes into it. And the one group will say, no, education is most important. The other group will say, no, defense is most important. Then you will find the education people saying defense is absolutely not important. We need a small professional army, maybe 1,000 soldiers. The defense force must not be an employment agency. But it is not as simple as that. And let me use an example, and I'm not going to choose sides. I'm going to confront the listener with a type of problematic situation that the Ministry of Finance and the budgetary team, which is a fairly large team, that they are confronted with at least every 3 years for most of the instances, and every year for some of them. Now you come to education. What is more important? To have a good pass rate in grade 10, or to have a desk and a chair for every grade 1 learner? Now can you immediately see, Elsabi, I can see in your eyes this dynamic is triggering something there. And when we carry on, we look at the allocations and what the role they play to make sure that we achieve something.
Okay. With that said, let's go for a short break, and we'll be back after these.